Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling. You are about to discover impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you, so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Be sure you visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now tune in, get ready, and enjoy the journey of emerging as a leader of exception in the 21st century.
Welcome, everyone, to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Vicki Noethling, coming to you from Roswell, Georgia. The goal of this podcast is to bring topics and guests that will empower you to become that confident leader and take your business and your life to the next level. Today, I am very pleased to have with me Nicole Hilgenkamp, and let me tell you about this powerhouse of a woman. She is a powerhouse in the corporate transformation, procurement, and the world of AI. And you all know that I love AI. With over 20 years of experience driving innovation, breaking barriers, and delivering real results, Nicole's journey is nothing short of inspiring. From navigating the challenges of being a woman in a male-dominated industry to becoming a thought leader in artificial intelligence and digital transformation, her unique perspective in leadership, embracing change, and preparing for the AI revolution is something you don't want to miss. Nicole has dedicated her career to navigating the complexities of digital transformation, guiding organizations through innovative solutions that blend the latest AI technology with solid operational strategy. Her insights into the evolving world of business processes and her passion for creating resilient, future-ready organizations make her an invaluable voice for anyone interested in the intersection of technology, leadership, and organizational growth. So today we're going to talk about Nicole as she shares her journey, her insights, and the future of procurement and operations, and how she helps companies harness the power of AI to reimagine what's possible in today's business landscape. We're going to talk about today, yes, AI, where to start to become AI enabled. Please join me in welcoming Nicole Hilgenkamp. Nicole, I'm so excited, if you can't tell, to have us talk about this today. I think the more we talk about it, the more it takes away the fear, the apprehension, and maybe helps to get others excited as we are. So welcome.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. And I hope we leave this podcast with some great information on how everyone around us can become AI enabled.
Yeah. So we always start out with two easy questions. Those of you that watch me all the time, you know, the first is, Nicole, tell us, where do you live? Where do you call home?
I call home Omaha, Nebraska, the heartland of the United States of America. And that's where I've grown up my entire life.
Oh my goodness. That is a beautiful area. Beautiful area.
It is beautiful. I hope, though, to retire to the East Coast. I want to wake up and see beauty, water, mountains, and more landscape than the flat sand hill of Nebraska.
Well, come to Georgia. We got all that for you. So I'd like for you to just talk a little bit about your journey. You know, I said what you do today and all the wonderful accolades you have, but all of us have that just point in our lives and our careers where we think, you know, there's something else I need to do. There's a pivotal moment, a kind of aha that says, you know, I have something to offer, or I need to be that spark to make the change happen. So talk to us about your journey and the paths that took you on to where you are today.
Yeah, I'm a lifelong learner. I'm not afraid to say that because every day, every year, the world around us is changing. And it's hard to consistently keep up. And my word of 2025 is to be relevant. And in so many ways, personally and professionally. And when I work in a large corporation, a transformation 1 year doesn't looks different from the past year. That's consistently changing. Technology is it is the key contributor to that consistent transformation, but transformation is only as good as the people that choose to adopt change. And change is the hardest thing for people to do. It's hard to get out of your comfort zone. It's hard to embrace some of these new technologies. And that's why I'm really excited to talk about artificial intelligence and what it can do for everyone, personally and professionally both. And so in the corporate environment, there's always something that can make you more efficient, more effective, and provide better experience to your customers. And that's the game I've been playing for the past 25 years.
Oh, so good. And I think that if anything that we've learned in the last 3 or 4 years now is change is going to happen, and how well we pivot, even if it's unknown, even if it's scary, that will determine whether we're successful or not.
Yeah, we can't be afraid to pivot. We can't be afraid to fail. And that's how we learn.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about, everyone, is really, again, being a consistent learner and being okay that you don't know everything. But the nice thing about artificial intelligence is now we have this wonderful source of information that can make our learning so much easier than it ever has, and helps us to do our work so much faster because, time is very, very valuable. And the new currency is people's attention. And that's where I love what artificial intelligence is able to do to help us to learn quicker and faster, and in a way that we can, and everyone's different on how they learn, in a way that we can consume that information that works best for how we learn the best as an individual.
So let's just delve a little bit deeper. You talk about AI literate, and share with the audience, why do you think it's so important that all of us become AI literate?
There's so many things that are happening with artificial intelligence. And so what AI literate means to me is connecting with artificial intelligence, connecting with it. You do not ever or will never know everything there is to know about artificial intelligence. You don't need to, because the large language models that we utilize to connect with and enable ourselves, and that's what we're really trying to promote, is that connection to artificial intelligence and to connect with a large language model that we can get information from. It's a great information source that can take you many different directions. But if we're able to make that connection, then we're going to continue to find new use cases in order to get information and get it faster. And so to be AI enabled means to connect with artificial intelligence, use it more consistently than not, because once you're able to harness its power, then and work with it in a way that works with you, then you're going to see a lot more ways in which you can get information faster, work done faster, etc. You also want to kind of keep up on artificial intelligence. And again, once you get connected to the information source, that's all we're doing here today to talk about, is how to enable into that information source. Because once you're connected in there, then you have a resource always to help you learn where we are today in the world. And we will want to know that as we mature and as artificial intelligence matures, because there'll be days that there'll be a day that there will be super intelligence that far surpasses that of humans. There'll be a day that we're not talking to as many humans on the phone, in the drive-through. That's already happening. And so we really need to understand also about our personal boundaries and our personal data, and some of those safety features that how to protect ourselves and our families when it comes to some of these new and emerging technologies that that are sometimes the greatest thing in the world, and sometimes can be also, there's a good and bad to all of it. And that's why being AI enabled will help us understand the best ways to use it, and then the ways to watch out for, and things that you do need to consistently protect, such as your personal data.
Yeah. And we talked earlier on about the time saving, and for me, I do a lot of different things, and I don't have time to really spend a lot of hours and hours, preparing for podcasts and posting podcasts and the social media to catch people's attention. But the more that I put into my AI, the more it knows me and the way I write, and the information that I have and the people that I've interviewed and all that. And so what the output is, as you get better with the prompts, it's so much better than I would have been able to do in seconds instead of hours, seconds. And
Yeah.
it's so fulfilling. And then you can look at it and think, oh, I hadn't looked at it that way. Well, let me think a little bit more on that. And so now the innovation and the creativity that was, sucked out of us when we went to high school and grade school is starting to come back again. And you think of, oh, well, that's a different way to think of that.
Yeah, I love a couple things you said there. One is you say the way you prompt it. So I want to talk a little bit with our listeners about the power of prompting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to utilize somewhat of a universal term when you work with a large language model or an artificial intelligence. There's lots of free artificial intelligence you can connect to that give you the information. So just for our listeners, that could be ChatGPT, it could be Claude, it could be Gemini, it could be Llama, it could be Perplexity. Those are like 5 pretty big large language models that all have free opportunities for you to engage. So, well, that's what we want you to do. We want you to engage. But when you engage, we don't want you to act like you would have with the old Google it. When people would say, go Google it, that isn't going to work as well with large language models. As you stated, it is about prompting, the power of the prompt. You'll get better at prompting, but the more you are being able to structure an ask, a request in a way that is as comprehensive as you can imagine, the more detail you'll get in your response. And that rich response will then really turn you on to, wow, this is a very powerful information source for me to leverage. And so when you don't have to know how to prompt necessarily, you'll learn how you do that, and you can request the large language model to help you with the prompt. Like, this is what I'd like to do. Help me structure a prompt in order to get this information from the artificial intelligence. And when you start to get good and better at making that more of a comprehensive prompt, the richer response you'll get. You also mentioned around like the time savings. And this is just a wonderful tool that we're seeing in social media, in entrepreneurship, in marketing. There's so many rich use cases for artificial intelligence that save time, but it's also for the individual and the business, both. It can save you time. And what a valuable source that is anything that can save you time allows you to then have a more fulfilled life with family, friends, and where you decide to spend your time, because we don't always get to decide where to spend our time. A lot of us work, a lot of us parent, a lot of us volunteer, etc. And so when we do have that downtime, that free time that we need so much as individuals to give ourselves the self-love we need to keep our mental health in shape, then that's really what, there's so many benefits to that time saving that artificial intelligence is able to allow you to leverage. It's almost like a life and business hack at one time around time, because it's going to do a lot of things that you would have spent hours doing much faster. So let me ask you just a question, Vicki. How are you a book reader?
Yes, I am.
Okay. In a year or in your lifetime, just a guesstimate of how many books have you read?
Well, we'll just stick to a year because lifetime would be too much math. I try to read at least 25, 35 books a year, but right now I have 5 going.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's phenomenal. Good for you. Okay. So of 35 a year on average, how much of those books do you remember? Do you remember exactly
Oh,
what you read?
only certain parts. And I'm terrible with, what did I get? Where I knew I read that, but knowing who it was and all that, no. And that's where I need AI. It's like, oh my
Right.
gosh.
And that's the beauty, because all of that information that you consumed over your lifetime is the ability to recall it is like
Yeah.
1%,
I know.
1%. But you consume so much of your life in reading. Maybe 5% of your time is in reading those 5 different books, etc. At any one point in time. And this is what is wonderful about AI, is that you don't have to remember now, because all of the entire library of books ever published is the large language model, Any
Yeah.
information that's ever been produced is now in one big resource that you can tap into. And the nice thing is that there is the math, the very, 1 + 1 = 2, but then there's the philosophy and the thought leadership
Yeah.
that has come from individuals. So whether it's Steve Jobs or uh, Oprah Winfrey or whoever, those people that you aspire, you can tap into their every book, every publication that they've ever made and say, hey, what would I do if I was Oprah in this situation?
Or how would
If
I say it as Oprah? Or,
Right.
yeah.
And then, like you said, what I loved what you were saying is you've kind of built an avatar, a twin, a digital twin of yourself by just leveraging it for your own personal needs.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to know you a bit. And now it can curate a letter like you would have wrote, and with the maybe better grammar and spelling and word content than you ever have, because the English professor is looking over it as well. And it can do it in a tone that you want. You can be as direct or as polite or as professional or as funny as you would like it to be, because it's starting to learn you. And when we talk about change, one of the biggest things that when it comes to change is you have to be self-aware that you need to change. And what I love about what I've used AI for, my best use case of the year, is I've used it for over a year now, for all the reading and writing and research that I how do I win the argument with my daughter, or how do I look at my taxes differently, or how do I optimize a business process and automate it. I've learned you did it for all those use cases. It's gotten to know me, and then to go back into it and say, hey, based on what I've requested from you in the last year, how do you assess me as a person? What are some of the things you see that I'm over focused on? What are some of the things that you think that I'm under focused on? And I just did this recently with a really powerful prompt. Wow. Was it a wake up call? It was like, wow. And we just don't have enough people in our life allowing us, giving us feedback. It's really hard to give constructive feedback. And so you always hear the good, you don't always hear the bad, but GPT had no problem telling me what it is that I could do to improve the way in which I communicate.
And it's not personal.
No, it's not personal. And I loved to learn of that from from my, digital twin of the year as to some things that they've recognized about my personality that I can now enhance.
Yeah. One of the things that when we talk about prompting being that I also teach the ability to speak better on stage, in person, or online. And so a lot of times people aren't great questioners. They aren't avid listeners enough to do good questioning. So the more that I get comfortable with the prompts, they actually are teaching me to be a better conversationalist, a better questioner, to dig deeper. And because you'll do a prompt and it will give you back information and think, oh, well, no, I really meant this, or I wanted it this. And so you ask again, and then eventually you get that ultimate question that you should have asked in the beginning. And it's teaching you in person then to do that same thing.
Yeah, what I love too, that's a great call out, is it does get you to asking better questions. And you can even say, I want a 30-day learning schedule on how I can be better at X. But what I also love is that when you're at, individuals, humans think very linearly. And so you're asking, and then you're getting more and more and more. But sometimes what I've learned with artificial intelligence is to say, what would you do? Like, you're not me, but what would you do? What do you recommend? What's my best choice? And wow, I've seen some really fantastic responses that I would never have come up with. And if I didn't ask, what would you do? Then I would have kind of like just found out the direct book answer from my question. And I really wanted knowledge. I really wanted the power of the knowledge. And then you can say, and why, so that you can then validate.
Respond.
Yeah. That, oh yeah, that is a great idea. And I can see why you would think that. And I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So think about that as well, is that, we act very linearly, but to also say, hey, what would be my best choice?
Time is flying by. I can't believe this. We might have to have a part 2, but say that the listeners out there, and gosh, you two have got me so excited. I want to get into it. How would you express to those out there listening how they could get started with AI? Maybe they're just like dipping their toe in there. What would you suggest?
Tip your toe in, please. And again, we mentioned some of the large language models of our artificial intelligence. That is a Google search, if that's what you're used to. And that is forbidden in my household now, is to Google it, but to go out to the internet and to find one of those sources. Sign up for a free. Okay, they're available. And then start to ask as much in depth of a question that you can put together, which will turn into how to create a good prompt. So an ask, a request, a Google it is a prompt in AI world. And that's what you want to do, is just stop Googling it and start using artificial intelligence with better requests that in the form of what we call in the AI world prompting. And ask AI how to prompt better. Say, I'm a prompt engineer and I would like to know X, X, and X. And then you're going to start to learn, because it's going to start to teach you. And then you're going to start to apply it. Just start to apply it towards everything you can think of. Take a picture of your refrigerator, upload the picture into the artificial intelligence of your choosing, and say, what should I make for dinner? Upload your taxes, take out all the personal information and say, did I capture as many deductions as I could have? Just start to kind of leverage it for lots of different ways. Ask it how to leverage. Like, what are some common things that I could be doing that I could leverage? Claude, Llama, Perplexity, ChatGPT, what are some of the things I could be leveraging you for that I'm not?
Yeah.
Based on what your goals of what you're trying to accomplish.
So good. So we talked about how to get started. What should they watch out for?
Okay, watch out for putting personal information um, the into artificial intelligence. Try to take away, it is learning from you. It's learning, and sometimes it doesn't learn as well. Sometimes it learns with a bias. Sometimes it takes your information and it's using it to learn, and it's then someone else is asking a question, and your information might creep your way over to that other desktop. Okay, so that's where you want to protect yourself around right now your personal information. That's what I would say as an individual. There is a lot of regulation that's coming across the globe around privacy and protection and putting guardrails in place to help, make sure that data privacy is safe, that we're safe as individuals. But it's really a bit of an open market right now, and so you are going to have to protect yourself now, and you can even ask AI to help you to do that and give you some guidance on how to make sure that your data is protected.
So I work with the youth and as well as adults. So what should I be telling the young people? I work with middle school, high schoolers. What should I be telling them about this importance of AI? And just as a backdrop, when I started in business, the introduction of computers was there. And I liken this excitement as what I did when I first found out that I didn't have to use whiteout ever again.
Right. This is definitely changing the landscape of education. And it will also change the occupations of the future.
Yeah, I agree.
It really is going to impact knowledge workers. You're going to see more labor workers. You're going to see more creatives. I'm interested to see what happens with education, because we're kind of in the crutches still of those teachers that love it, those educators that hate it or are afraid of it, because there isn't anything that's yet coming down into the school systems other than maybe plagiarism is starting to say, hey, how can you validate that this wasn't done by artificial intelligence? But really, I think you're going to start to see those guardrails kind of loosen up, because there's just no way to stop it. It's so big. So teachers are going to have to learn of different ways to leverage it to learn. And I think we can maybe learn more than what we have before by leveraging it.
Yeah,
By leveraging
for sure.
it. So
yeah,
it's something to watch, definitely, in the education space.
awesome.
But it's also something to talk to your elementary kids as they grow up in this environment, in this ecosystem, is that there is no shying away from that. It's here. It's changing every single day.
Yeah.
And they need to know what it is. They need to know what it is.
That's for sure. And look for the opportunities in business and everything that we do. Look for the opportunities where this can enhance your lives and give you some of that freedom back that maybe you spend hours and hours and hours doing something that this could be done, as I said, in minutes or seconds.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the key takeaway today, everyone, is that exactly that. Experiment. Please go experiment on your own. Just get out there if you're not already. If you're not out there already, you're a bit behind, and you will want to, and you will recognize a way in which to enrich your life by leveraging it, but you won't be able to do that unless you experiment and start getting out there and AI enable yourself. And if you do, I promise you that you will have you will be able to find a way to make it give you that time back.
So true. Well, if you've been intrigued, interested, or excited, and you think, oh my goodness, I need to know more, and want to get in touch with Nicole, it's that time where I share the slide that has her contact information. If you're just listening and you think, oh, Vicki, I can't do this, you can get it from my YouTube channel, Vicki Noethling. So please do subscribe, or you can go to my findyourleadershipconfidence.com and get it from the show notes. So the website is LinkedIn, and it is her name, Nicole Hilgenkamp. I'll say that Hilgenkamp, Hilgenkamp. And on her call to action, I'll have her just chat with you about that.
I'm available to talk to anyone that's interested in leveraging it and learning more about artificial intelligence, and hosting training or discussions, how it can help you in your personal and professional life. I'm an AI enthusiast, and I also know how hard it is to adopt new technologies, and I'm just here to spread the word and hope you get as much out of it as I do every single day using it.
Fantastic. So, Nicole, it's been so fun chatting with you today. I loved all the information. We could talk for days and days on this, and I definitely want to have you back maybe in 6 months to see all the changes that have come about with AI. So thanks for being a great guest.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy New Year.
You. Yes.
And I'd love to talk to you in 6 months.
Awesome. As always, I remind everyone that life is a journey, and it's up to you to enjoy the ride. This is Vicki Noethling, signing off.
Thank you for tuning into the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling, where we share impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Remember to visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast.